Are you thinking about buying a new construction home? If so, you gotta watch this video. As always, we want to thank you for checking out our newest video here on living in Tyler, Texas. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to our channel. That way you get notified of all of our newest videos. Additionally, we want to remind you of our Facebook group, Moving to East Texas. It's a great place for you to connect with other people who have made the move or are thinking about making the move. You can ask all your questions in there for people who have done it and find out the best way to make it happen. We also want to remind you that we are your friend in real estate. So if you're thinking about making a move, we would love to be a part of your journey to make East Texas home. All right, so you want to buy a new construction house, and I think that's a great idea. So we're going to go over the pros and cons, what you need to know and what you need to consider when making that purchase of a brand new house. So the first thing we're going to talk about when buying a new home, one of the biggest pros are all the new systems. You've got new HVAC, new roof, new foundation, new plumbing, new hot water heater. All of that stuff is really, really good. You've got less to worry about in terms of things malfunctioning, not working correctly. You're gonna have all the most up-to-date things with regard to code, the safest, most efficient products that you can get because you're buying a new home. One of the benefits to that is it's gonna reduce your insurance policy. One of the biggest factors in insurance, first off, is the roof. With a brand new roof, the likelihood that you're gonna need a newer roof quicker is gonna be pretty low. So because of that, your insurance premium is going to be much, much less. Additionally, you're going to get a warranty with your home. You're going to typically get what's called a 1-2-10 builder's warranty. The first year is covered by the builder. That's going to be all craftsmanship issues, really anything in the house they are going to fix. You start to see cracking in some of the seals and the molding just because of expansion and contraction in the tile, in the backsplash, your sink gets loose, whatever it may be. You're going to have some wear and tear that first year, and the builder is going to take care of all of it for you by coming out there, sending their guys to fix it, make sure it's right. The second part, the 2-year part of the warranty, is going to be all systems in the house. Your air conditioner, your plumbing, all the things that make your house run and operate. You're going to get an additional 2-year warranty on that. Now, the 10-year warranty is going to apply to the structure. It's going to be the foundation, the walls, the ceiling, all those parts that are encompassed within the house structurally. Those are going to be insured for 10 years. And when you buy a used home, rather, you're not going to have that same flexibility for somebody to come make repairs. You're going to be responsible for that house and all that goes on with it buying a pre-owned home. Another thing to consider when moving into a new build, especially in a neighborhood, are the community amenities. Now, here in Tyler, we don't have a lot of the big master plan communities where you've got tons of different amenities and things like that within the neighborhood. We do have a few. Oak Creek is the one that comes to mind that you get to join and be a part of the athletic club where you get to swim, work out, play tennis, all those kinds of things. But you're also going to have you're going to have bigger neighborhoods where typically these neighborhoods are going to have sidewalks. It's easy to move around the neighborhood, things like that. So those amenities are going to be a draw for some people to be able to get into a new home because you're going to get things that come with it. Another pro that we're seeing with a lot of new construction right now is that builders are offering a lot of incentives. Most of the builders right now have more inventory than they would like to have, and because of that, they're giving you incentives to make you want to buy the home. There's a group out in Chandler right now that's offering up to 6% in closing cost prepaids to reduce the purchase cost of your loan. You can use that to buy down the rate, pay for your prepaids, things like that. They're going to give you a lot of money to help reduce your cash out of pocket, and that's going to be a big thing when you're trying to close because it's always more expensive than you think. Having your money on hand to be able to move, buy new furniture, get little things that you didn't think about and that kind of thing are going to be really beneficial when you get those additional incentives to be able to reduce the cost out of pocket when you purchase. And really one of the biggest benefits, one of the best pros of buying a new home is you're going to have modern finishes and floor plans. Floor plans now are so much more efficient with the space. You can get a 4-bedroom, 1,700 square foot house with a good sized living room, a split floor plan, and a dining area. And it's going to be in a smaller footprint, but because of the efficiency of the floor plans that we have now, it's going to feel way bigger than a 1,700 square foot house from the 80s or 90s. Additionally, you're going to have the most modern trends from a white kitchen to colored kitchen, nice countertops, stainless, gold, black finishes with handles, faucets. You're gonna typically have a tiled shower in the primary bathroom. You're just gonna have what is in style now, so it's gonna give it obviously that really new look and finish, which is obviously what everybody wants. They want something updated, so new construction is gonna offer you the most flexibility to get a very updated looking home. Now, when we talk about new construction, it does not come without cons. One of the biggest things that I hear people complain about when purchasing a new construction home is the lot size. Nowadays, they do build on smaller lots. It's very simply so they can build more houses. You're typically gonna have a smaller backyard, and truthfully, a lot of times that backyard is gonna be sloped and not completely usable. You're gonna have less space, and a lot of times because of the grading and just the lack of development of the land, you're not gonna have a completely usable backyard. So the lot size is definitely one of the biggest detriments to most new construction homes. However, there are a lot of communities where they are building on bigger lots now, up to half an acre, sometimes 1 acre, depending on where you go. You'll be able to get a bigger lot size, which will allow you to have the backyard that you want, but those are definitely gonna come at a premium because a half acre of land with new construction home is going to be at the top end of what comps will support and things like that, just because it costs more to have a bigger lot. So another one of the cons to buying new construction, you're going to pay usually the highest dollar per square foot. There are always going to be exceptions to that if you're moving into a super premium area for a pre-owned home, or you're buying new construction on a smaller lot outside of town that's not as premium of a location. But typically when you're looking at new construction home, price per square foot is going to be higher than most pre-existing construction. Another thing to consider is location. Typically, new builds are not built within the city limits. Most of that was developed a long time ago. So sometimes your proximity to where you want to be and what you want is actually going to be further. I actually had some clients recently, they loved a lot of new construction, but they were very set on trying to be inside of the loop, closer to, what Tyler has to offer, more downtown, still be close to stuff south and things like that. So they were very limited in their options, and it took a little bit of time to find a house that fit them, just because, a lot of that stuff in Central Tyler, you're waiting or trying to pick off the perfect place that's updated, has a good yard, has all these features, and they just don't come available a lot. So buying new construction pushed them further away from where they wanted to be, primarily because of work, but it also just limited their options. So if you're open to a place further out, new construction is typically going to be a great option because a lot of those communities and developments are being built further away from town. Another big thing with new construction homes, the communities and whatnot, sometimes lack architectural variety. You're going to see homes of very similar style. We don't really do the track homes where every home is the same shape and all that kind of stuff. Most of our builders do a pretty good job of varying the look of homes within the neighborhood to where you probably won't see another home like yours. There's going to be a slight variation in the finish, left, right, the way they do the pitches, things like that. There's going to be enough variety here that it's not a big thing, but typically when you do go into the neighborhoods, they are going to be a similar style. So if you're looking for something very unique or different, new construction typically doesn't offer that. For the most part, when you go into a new construction home, you're going to have a open concept with a split floor plan, and you're going to have higher pitches and things like that. I don't technically know what it is called here, but our style is going to be pretty uniform in a lot of the new construction places. So those are things to consider if you're thinking about a new build. Well, thanks for checking out our newest video. I hope you found this helpful. If you're thinking about buying a new construction home, these are the things that you really have to consider. What's most important to you? Is it the modern finishes, the newer systems, so you don't have to worry about things breaking? It's move-in ready most typically, but typically that's going to come with a trade-off of a smaller lot, maybe not in the perfect location. So there's going to be some trade-off typically with newer construction, so those are things that you have to consider. So we want to thank you again for watching our newest video about new construction. If that's on your radar, I hope this was a helpful video for you to understand the process and things that you need to consider when making that next purchase. We want to remind you about our Facebook group, Moving to East Texas. Again, it's a great place to connect with other people who have already made the move. Additionally, I want to remind you that I am your friend in real estate. So if you have questions about making a move, please don't hesitate to reach out. We talk to people every day about making a move to Tyler, Texas, and you can reach us by email, text message, whatever works for you. We'd love to hear from you.